What's going on? It's your boy Q to the motherfucker. Wait, actually, I'm really sorry. 1 second. Mm, there we go. Let me see. Make sure everything is Gucci. Gucci, Gucci. Yeah. Down to the socks, down to the socks. It's my face showing up. It should be. Yo. Alright. Yeah, you see we here cozied up today. In the nicest motherfucking robe. Today. Wait, before we start. What's good? It's your boy Q to the motherfucking G-O-D, and we are back. Yes, with a new fucking podcast. If you haven't done so, please do me a favor, subscribe. If you want to comment during this video, comment. I'll have my chat open. If you want to add anything, go ahead and feel free. I have my chat open right now. I'm about to open it, see if we live. We live. Don't mind my facial hair. I'm a little scruffy today. Oh wait, I got it on the TV. I'm tweaking. I'm gonna turn it down. Wait, what? I can't see shit. No, don't airplay it on the TV. Just screen monitor that shit. There we go. That shit look crazy on the TV, low key. All right, yeah. But anyways, so it look mad fuzzy right now. Like when you expand it and shit, like it just looks mad unclear. But at least we can see if we go in here or not. Anyways, what's good? Your boy Q2 motherfucking DOD. Yeah. If y'all wanna add anything in the comments or whatever, just let me know. I mean, we'll do that. Go ahead, do your thing, cause I'm gonna see it. I got the chat open. But look, so today's topic is gonna be a short one, but we're mainly talking about in the video is really talking about women, but I'm gonna talk about both sides, cause I don't like to like normally play I don't like to play favorites, especially when it comes down to relationships and stuff like that and da da da. But this video did hit home for me, and I just wanted to like kind of react to it slash give my opinion slash feelings on it. That's why I said this podcast is gonna be real short. And this is what I say our podcast is mainly gonna be about is like, you know, because I feel like a podcast is mainly opinion based or factual based, like stuff that you've either researched up and decided that you want to share with the world, or you decided to bring your own opinion and own feelings into light and wanting other people to relate to that. So that's what I feel like what main podcasts are. Anyways, so yeah, this video is just talking about relationships and how more so women sometimes they think that they're listening to how men feel. I feel like this is where his perspective is coming from, where women they think they know how men feel, but don't really listen to how men feel. And sometimes this is why so many women be confused on why their men want to leave, or they be confused in what they men want from them because they're not really listening due to a whole bunch of other reasons. But this is only a woman in some clip of it, so I just wanted y'all to get his take, and then y'all gonna get my take afterwards. After I already watched this video. Like I watched on like what I'm pretty much doing majority of the time is like I try to get a video that I don't normally react to, or I haven't reacted to, or I do react to, and that actually hits home for me. So I'm like, oh, I understand what he's talking about, or I get where he's coming from. So that's what this podcast is about to be about right now. You know, today, just pretty much relationship shit. We ain't gonna have too many lessons, too much talking. But
the few healthy men that I'm talking about, they do express themselves, but there's always a challenge to it. What I said is how I felt. Hey, I feel this way, and it may be a sentence or two. I expressed myself. You heard it. You didn't listen. You responded. You challenged. You minimized. That can get frustrating for a man because it's like, you know, what more can I say? I get to that often. Like, I don't got no more. I don't got no more to say. Like, I said everything. At this point, I'll just be repeating myself. It's, do you want to actually hear it and digest it the same way you expect me to hear and digest you? Do you want to actually make adjustments so that I don't feel the way I'm feeling as the same way you expect me to do for you? But I don't think most men have a problem falling on the sword, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you do have men that are more depressed than ever. There is a lot of men that are feeling that pressure of bottling these things up. Or even when they express it, it's not being heard the right way.
So, that was also a part I missed at the end. Depression. Like, a lot of men have been suffering in silence. I feel like a lot of men, I want to be the first person to be like, yo, I feel like it's okay for certain men to talk about how they feel. And like, one of my peoples at work, I'm shaking and shit on knee. Fucking one of my boys at work, he always talks about his problems a lot, and I actually respect him majority of the time for coming out and like talking about his actual relationships, because I feel like a lot of men don't want to speak on certain things or how they feel, and it actually messes with a lot of men in their relationship. I think when women might not get one point or understand something that man, or a point of view a man was coming from. So when I say that, for instance, he was showing a Martin clip. He was showing a Martin clip on there. Martin and Gina, I don't know if you ever watched that show. But I watched that show when I was growing up, and that was like the most like root for couple in, like, I want to say, far as like comedy, far as like romantic shows like that. They were one of those couples that you wanted to thrive and you wanted to see them. They were always happy. There was always jokes going around and stuff like that. But there was also lessons in that show, and it shows you that sometimes, just like when a man, when you were set with being a man, you were set with being, when a woman was set in her mind with being a man, with being with a man. Sorry, my mind cannot relay these right now. But when you were set with being a man in that show, especially in that show, was depicted like she wanted to be with him and only him. But there was a point in time in that episode right there where Martin was expressing how he felt a certain way, and Gina was like, I'm just gonna leave and I'm just gonna take off. I don't care about how you felt, or I didn't take the time to listen, or whatever. But when she decided to leave, Martin broke his character. He broke the tough guy act, which was like he stopped caring about how he felt. And just as long as Gina could stay with him in that moment in time, he didn't care about what he wanted. Like, so what I'm saying is, like, men could want something so bad from certain women, so from one woman that they have either settled with, decided to marry, whatever, can want one thing from that woman. And we decide as men whether if we will sacrifice what we want for silence. Like, we would my fault. Let me replay this video. I'm low key
bottling these things up. Or even when they express it, it's not being heard the right way.
Let's readjust. Let's readjust.
The few healthy men that I'm talking about, they do express themselves, but there's always a challenge to it. What I said is how I felt. Hey, I feel this way, and it may be a sentence or two. I express myself.
Martin expressed himself in that episode. Gina felt like, all right, bet. You can feel that way. I'm going to make my decision and I'm going to leave. Martin broke down and said, actually, Gina, I want you to stay. Fuck all that. I'm sorry. he apologized, and I felt like that caused Martin in deep down in those episodes, you can see him not to be himself anymore, because he felt like, damn, the woman that I thought would like be there and hear me and like just hear me, not take action really, but really hear me and listen to how I felt in that moment. I said but Martin, to listen to how Martin felt in that moment, I think that meant something in that show, and it made me feel some way towards Gina more so than it did make me feel some way towards Martin, because Martin was I'm trying to think about what they were arguing about that day. It was about a way Gina was acting with another guy or something like that. And he was expressing how he felt, and she decided to be like, Martin, it's not like that, but he was just trying to tell her how he felt, and she left. Now, if we had to relate this back to me, and the reason why I feel some way is because I've been through a lot. Like, I've been through a lot of relationships where I feel like I've given a lot to a woman, and I haven't received enough praise or appreciations. And like, it would be a lot of times I would sit there and express how maybe she did something with friends, even on her own accord, the way she dressed. It could be like any of those like little things that happen in relationships where people feel like those insecure moments or whatever your feelings are. Just in general, we're talking about feelings, and we're talking about how women kind of overlook men's feelings. And we're not just talking about just women. Men do it too. We obviously understand men overlook women's feelings and how they feel, but obviously women have a lot more feelings that men have to take into consideration. What I'm pointing out is this is pretty much in the sense that where I felt a lot of times in growing up and even watching my mom and my dad, where I or my dad could express themselves, tell someone how they felt, and not saying that it gets brushed under the rug, but it does get put to the minimization, as like some women say, because their feelings, they feel like their feelings were deeper. Their feelings were more validated, or for whatever reasons. But the reason why I even made this podcast today was more so because I felt like a lot of men have struggled with expressing themselves, or feeling like they're not expressing themselves even when they are. And I feel like a lot of men should take the time to appreciate just the fact that you opened up and did express how you felt. But what I'm saying is, bring it back to me, where I was going through a lot of relationships, and I would do a lot of things out of expectations, like, and maybe that was my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, treating a girl well, buying her like all like good things, doing good things for her family, and expecting, that appreciation, and expecting her to possibly even like listen to everything and hear me the same way I'm hearing her. I was one of those guys who a lot of times, or I met a woman and they say, oh, like, you're everything to me, or you've made me feel so good and nobody else has made me feel this way, stuff like that. Like, treating a woman with respect and treating a woman with great care has led me to be very much heartbroken in these last couple years. And I'm not afraid to say that anymore. And I think that's where I'm at the point where I'm tired of feeling like I'm letting a lot of my time and my tongue, the powerful tongue that I have, go to waste, and not express this feelings to others that they are allowed to express it, like to other women and other people. Like, be able to articulate yourself and be like, yo, ma, like, the way you was talking to me was mad disrespectful. Also, I didn't like the way you were hanging out with homeboy until late night, blase. I just felt like personally You could have respected me better. As I explained those things, and I remember getting responses like, "Oh, you're not the boss of me. You can't control me. I'm who I am." Stuff like that, where it felt like I was getting straight blatantly unheard. Not for me saying stuff like, "Oh, I don't want you to hang out with somebody," or something like that. Like me not, I would be saying like, "I didn't feel comfortable with you hanging out with such and such," and then I get a response more back like, "Oh, I'm me, and you don't want me to be me," and like those responses make me feel unheard. And I feel like a lot of women don't get a chance to understand how that isn't listening. You're just responding to how I just said what I just said. You're responding instead of having a real conversation with me and understanding that, like, yo, I like, oh, my bad, I didn't know that would make you feel this way. I wasn't trying to, or stuff like that. I feel like a lot of women choose to feel defensive. And men too, obviously, when they have their moments of guilt and when they get caught up in stuff that they know they shouldn't. But I also take a lot of time to like be real. Like I have to be equal. Like I have to be fair. Like I don't know. That's just the way I was raised. Like I look at it like, yo, like some women do the same thing, men do the same thing, but like women do it in a way where us men don't even. Some like players. Some men have not grown up with a mother. Some men have not grown up with a lot of women in their life. Some men have not grown accustomed to dealing with the emotional sides of women, like in the emotional no, they're like the women have a more articulate way of speaking and more of a articulate way of expressing their emotions. That's where it's like a lot of men get caught up, I feel like, in feeling bad for a lot of women when even when the women are in the wrong. Men get caught up feeling bad for them when they should be standing on how they feel, because their feelings are valid and their feelings should be validated by that woman that low key says they respect you. I'm sorry I couldn't get to that point in the beginning. I got a little nervous. For some reason, it's been a minute since I'll be like doing podcasts, and I'll be having the itinerary in my head type shit. But yeah. So I just want to play this one more.
Heard it.
I just want to play this one more time. There was a part that he had talked about. Kind of wanted to point out.
The few healthy men that I'm talking about, they do express themselves, but there's always a challenge to it. What I said is how I felt. Hey, I feel this way, and it may be a sentence or two. I expressed myself. You heard it. You didn't listen. You responded. You challenged.
Yeah.
You challenged. Like I said, that part is like very hard to that part is where I've gotten to understand, where it's like how much will a man take from a woman who hasn't had real responsibilities, who doesn't. The reason I'm saying it is because I've learned that I've had a lot of women in my life that didn't have a lot of responsibility, or didn't have a lot of I want to say like they didn't have a lot of father figures in their lives to point them in the right direction, and point them in the most respectful direction, I guess, in a way of talking to people, or having the audacity to talk to somebody who's actually keeping you happy and providing for you, stuff like that. So especially when you're in a relationship, being challenged for reasons that you feel are valid is very hard to atone for. Like as a man, like you can't almost like you can't speak out now because you feel like her feelings aren't going to be heard as well, because she just challenged you on something you felt, which is valid. Like, you felt like this is valid to have a feeling, the same way we tell women it's valid to have their feelings. And we allow ourselves to, this is really like I know my ex or any of the women that in my life would watch this and be like, because there was a lot of times where I was like trying to tell them like how I felt, and it was like, I can hear the response. It's like, you don't want to hear how I felt due to the fact that you're feeling way deeper than the way I feel, or you responded, your actual feelings and your actual outbreak, your action was way more dramatic than mine. So you won this feeling contest, and I'm like, it's not a feeling contest. I feel this way. You have to respect. I respect how you feel. So I feel like women take the time to combat your feelings, a lot of them, in my experience. Let's go there. Won't say women in general, but I'm gonna say in my personal experiences, women combat your feelings due to the fact that they don't know how to fix how you feel in those moments, or they don't know how to fix themselves, and they feel like the challenge of fixing themselves is way too hard, and they rather just stick to confront or defending what you feel. And I just genuinely felt like this topic is so hard to even talk about, but I felt like it's needed to be heard on at least my channel. Like, my channel, I felt like this video just needed to be posted, because
minimized. That can get frustrating for a man, because it's like, you know, what more can I say? I get to that often. Like, I don't got no more. I don't got no more to say. Like, I said everything at
that. Like, I feel like a lot of men and a lot of women don't understand that, like, men don't like to repeat themselves just as much as you don't like to repeat yourself. Like, I feel like a lot of women and men don't realize how equal and how close they are and similar they are to each other, when it's like, yo, didn't we just talk about like respecting each other like last week, and didn't we just talk about peace and not arguing like last week? Like, how much more do you want me to, like, because women, I feel like more women want to have the conversation than men. Men would sit here and give you a kiss on your forehead, play a game all day, and barely speak to you, or have few sentences, like he said. It could be a few things that I've said to you, and that's just how I felt. Like, simple. Women feel like they need more explanation, and that's just me personally saying that. But I feel like anybody could relate. That's why I'm making this video. Anybody can relate to the fact that, like, what I'm saying is type, and what he's saying is type valid. Like, we as a society don't take the time to listen to sometimes how men truly be feeling about certain things, and it be right there, clear as day. Like, we done said, yo, I just don't feel like talking today. I'm just not in the mood. Why? How come? Did I do something wrong? Why can't you talk to me? I just said I don't want to talk to nobody today. I said I'm not really just in the mood to even. So like I said, I think it comes with a certain amount of respect and a certain amount of level of listening skills. To really be in a relationship in the first place, to be honest with you. Like, I think a lot of people don't take the time to listen to each other. Not just women. I know I've been speaking on the women, but that's what he was speaking on. And it's facts for a lot of good men. Like he said, we're not just talking about men who don't listen to the women. We're not talking about the men. We're talking about the good men who be there to provide, there all the time, give you a time, attention, give you a phone number to call, text, and locations. Those type of niggas / men be low-key the most depressed ones. And I'm coming out of something where I feel like not depressed, but I definitely felt more so lost. I felt more so like, damn, like, I don't know why I always find myself alone, and then I find the person that I find myself alone later after a relationship, and then I find the person that left me alone wants to be back together. And that has left me with a lot of questions lately. Like, because then I'll be sad about the shit. Like, I'll be mad. Like, I'll let this shit go. I'll let our relationship go. I'll let everything go. And I'll be mad that I let things go. And sad, I guess, that I've let a lot of time and energy and love go to waste. And like in that episode of Martin, he didn't want Gina to leave. But if you watch those episodes of Martin and Gina, later on in the episode, she does leave him. They actually break up or whatever. Not later in that episode, but later down the season, they break up. But I've been very much in those same boats. And to continue this video, hold on.
At this point, I'll just be repeating myself. It's, do you want to actually hear it and digest it the same way you expect me to hear and digest you? Do you want to actually make adjustments so that I don't feel the way I'm feeling?
My problem is, I think also, is that I made so many adjustments that were for other people and not for myself. And what he says in like the next like 20 seconds is about men will lay on the sword
the same way you expect me to do for you. But I don't think most men have a problem falling on the sword, though.
See, he said, I don't think most men have a problem falling on a sword. And that was my thing. Like, I didn't have a problem falling on a sword. And what I think he means by that is like falling on the sword of like holding your tongue, like falling on the sword of like, instead of taking that action that he was talking about, like when like women will take the action after we spoke on our feelings or something like that. They'd be like, well, what do you want me to do? You want to just leave? You want to just break up or something like that? I'm like, no, I just was trying to express how I felt. A lot of women would take that and run rapid. I want to say their emotions rapid. They want to run their emotions rapid after they hear how you feel sometimes. And sometimes you might not have said what you needed to say in the most articulate way that a woman needed to hear it. But you said how you felt. And she took it how she took it. And you either, when she takes it how she takes it, you either sorry, I was looking at my phone. But you either hold your tongue and be like, never mind, I'm sorry, or you apologize later on because you made her feel some way, and you go on about your day. You tell her, I love you, da da da. Or like I said, or you just continue on letting her leave, like how Martin eventually did.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why you do have men that are more depressed than ever. There is a lot of men that are feeling that pressure of bottling these things up.
And I feel like I didn't bottle a lot of things up, but I did after we broke up. Like after we broke up, there was like a lot of things I left unsaid. I felt like even with my last and the previous's and all of them, like, to be honest, it's just I feel like a lot of things was left unsaid, and a lot of things I felt not depressed about. I don't know. I'm not sure what depression feels like because nobody diagnosed me. But I can tell you, the sadness I felt those years and these years has made me want to create these podcasts. And like, I feel like watching these videos nowadays have made me even more aware of how I should be feeling, and knowing that people do struggle with this, and that I should make some type of content that could possibly help somebody. I know the way I started is probably not going to help anybody. And I know these intro podcasts for me right now are just intros. These are going to get better. And once, but my main point of today was like, don't be afraid, bro. Like, don't be afraid to take a step back and really look at how you feel. And don't be afraid to see that, like, sometimes you're not being heard. Your life is everything. Your life is everything. Like, the way you go about your life will determine the way you die, the way you, like, I'm just saying, like, you need to be in control of every part. So when you decide to deal with a female who is very strong with her emotions and very well spoken, you need to know where you stand, or where you stand with the relationship, money wise. Shout out to whoever just joined. I appreciate you. But you need to know where you stand at, because generally your life will fly by. This lifetime has flown by for me, but this lifetime flies by for everybody eventually. And you see that you might have wasted too much time or too much love or too much energy into something that didn't grow to what you wanted it to be, or you thought this was going to be something amazing, whatever, and you ended up sadder or more depressed than you were. Make sure you take advantage of those times where you need to think about, like, how you feel. Like, when you put that out there for somebody, bro, for real, you put that out there in front of your significant other, you put that out there in front of your friends, and you put your feelings out there, and somebody doesn't hear you, take the time to reassess for yourself what you need to do. Because I didn't take the time myself to reassess sometimes and realize what I needed to do. So, like, for instance, like I said, in the episode of Martin Gina, you saw her leaving out the door. But like I said, Martin called for her back. There's a lot of times I didn't call for nobody back. I didn't want nobody who didn't want to be, or who didn't understand how I felt. I didn't want anybody who didn't understand how I felt to be in my life, that didn't need to be here. Like, you wanted to leave out the door after I told you that I feel like you've been I feel like you've been distant. I feel like you've been hearing and I feel like I need you to be here with me. And you like, well, I don't feel like that, and I don't want to even be here, and you want to leave, and I feel like we should take a break. You want to do that? I just let you go. But Martin, in that episode, he didn't do that. Martin pleaded for what he wanted, and that also, I think, kept him in a sadder state, because he broke down from his, because and Martin ended up getting Gina back at the episode, and Martin ended up getting Gina back at the end of the episode, not the end of the episode, and the end of the season, anyways, due to the fact that she just loved that man so much and she couldn't do without him. She knew he was, it, or whatever. And that's where I've been at lately in my life. Is like, I've stood on my 10 toes, and I've stood on my feet for how I felt, and it does leave a cold and a sad feeling at the end when you do stand on how you feel and somebody doesn't decide to stay with you. But it does make you stronger, I believe, and it does make you, like I said, more aware just of how you yourself was so down for you. You were so down for yourself and your feelings that you didn't let anybody change your direction or path, in your journey in this lifetime. So, like, that's why I think I don't know what depression is yet. That's why I don't think I know what depression is. 'Cause I was sad for, like, losing those people, but I realized in my life when God, like, would show me that they wanted to be back in my life, which is hitting me back up, or they would block me. They would end up blocking me or something like that, and then coming back into my life with the, hey, how you doing, big head, or hey, like after me not speaking to them for such amount of times. So like I said, it's not just about the women though, man. Men, it's not just about the women. Watch out for the men too. The men you decide, that you decide to express feelings to, or they decide to express their feelings to you, because that's a lot of times men go through it with other men too, man. Like, and you don't never know it. They don't know it. It's just something that we all need to be more mindful of, is that people do express themselves to you. Just whether do you take that in or not. Do you care or not about that person? I need something to drink, low key. Do you care enough about that person to hear them? Do you care enough to take action for that person? So just be mindful of that when y'all actually going into relationships out here. Also be mindful, like, y'all getting a lot of, shout out to my cousin. He has a baby. I don't know his name. I don't think he sent me his name. But anyways, shout out to my little cousins and his wife. And I've been seeing a lot of people getting pregnant, a lot of people going into relationships, a lot of cheating. I've been seeing a lot of bullshit. I've been seeing a lot of it. Like, the world has showed me so much as I've been getting older, to the point where I'm like, yo, I just really don't know how else to, like, say I don't even want to bring a kid right now into the world. Like, it's kind of crazy, bro. Like, I don't want to bring a kid into the world because I know how much protection I got to do, how much responsibility, shit like that. But I was saying, like, to have a partner right now, I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, yo, y'all really got somebody y'all have and y'all trust, supposedly. And I don't know what the fuck y'all whole background, like, story was or whatever. But I feel like it's about to be wild, bro. Like, I'm about to be like, when I have a kid, now you bringing kids over and family over. Oh my God, this. But like, the reason why I'm saying all this is just due to the fact that, like, for me and for some people, this depression shit is serious. Like, and I'm saying having a kid and having this responsibility of, like, even a partner is very, like, life changing. You can die from this shit. Like, I've learned there's couples that have died together. There's just shit like that. Like, people have cheated on each other, got shot together. People have had kids together. All three of the family. Like, it's just so much feelings and other actions that we don't decide to talk about or get involved or go to therapy for. So much of,
or even when they express it, it's not being heard the right way.
So much of us not being able to articulate to somebody else how we feel in those moments of times before it gets to that point in life where, R.I.P. my boy Lil Wayne, where you couldn't even express to certain people how you felt about being on drugs or whatever, and you kill yourself. That's why I've literally been, to be honest with you, like, I'm not even lying, bro. I've been in, I want to say I've been in one bathroom already with a female, a partner, supposedly a partner of mine, telling me she wants to end her life right now due to all her other struggles in life right now. Like, her mom her mom had a good job, but it wasn't paying that great. Living in a crib, not affordable. I don't even want to talk about the other shit. Just know the whole situation is bad. Just know, like, if you imagine the most hoodest Cinderella story you could ever fucking have. Want to kill herself due to an argument between me and her. Had nothing to do with ending herself. It just had to do with us having something to do with the game and attention. I think the biggest thing was I was on the game and something about hanging out. I was in her house. Come to find she's mad about something. She's in the bathroom with a knife. Open the door, let me in. Do you know what I said in those moments, bro? I promise. And I kid you not, maybe it wasn't the right move. But when I got in that bathroom, I realized how deeply messed up a person could try to manipulate you. So I'm in a this is no lie, bro. I cannot put it. I'll put it on my nephew. I'll put it on my mom. I'll put it on everybody. I cannot lie. I tell Shawty while she has the knife. It's a butter knife though. It's a butter knife in her hand. I recognize the whole situation. Her mom is not here at the time. Her mom is not in the crib. I think her brother, I don't know who else was in the crib at the time. I'm pretty sure it was just us and her little sister. Why? Why in the hell? She gonna tell me she don't care about her life. She want to kill herself. She about to kill herself right now. I'm talking about the knife is right to her arm, right? But it's not even at the vein. It's not even at the part. It's not even at the part where, like, you know, like right here, like in the little. It was like somewhere up here or some shit like that. And I got right next to her, and I said, "Do it. End yourself right here. Go ahead." And I know it's not funny, but it's serious. It's so fucking true. And I've never ever had to experience this before this. My bad. So yeah, I'm telling her, like, do it. Go ahead. Like, I bet you won't. You know what I said after that? Oh, you know why? I was like, cause you got a fucking good life. You don't gotta pay no bills. You're still going to school. You still got a roof over your head. You can eat. Your boyfriend's still here. Go ahead. Tell me your life is bad. Tell me you want to end it all. I grabbed the knife out of her hand. I said, give me that shit. She wanted to fight or whatever. I don't fight. I don't got time to fight. I took the knife, put it down, grabbed her, hugged her, whatever. Told her I love her. I kept it pushing. I remember that day it struck me differently because I didn't know how far someone would take an argument or took the way I felt or took how she felt so deep that you would even act like you gonna kill yourself in front of me or in the bathroom. Sorry, you gonna lock yourself in the bathroom. The act was like, mind you, like, I've been with this girl, like, this is one of the girls I've been with every day. Like, every day. I live down the street from her, bro. Like, I literally live, I think it was 6 minutes to 7 minute walk, bro. So, I personally, when I make a video, bro, about these, I know I sound like I'll be babbling sometimes, but, like, I personally make a video about these. I've personally had some experiences that make me really, 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 really think at night about the dangers of women, the dangers of men, the dangers of the world, like how the world how things can change in the instant, bro. In the instant where I gotta be a hero, I'm thinking to myself, I'm here with you every day, buying pizza for you and your family. I'm hanging out every day. I'm gaining weight. People say gaining weight makes you is a thing of happiness. Is a sign of happiness, and I firmly am a disbeliever behind that, because during that relationship, I realized how unhappy I really was, because I never been 180 pounds in my life. Never. And the reason why I say this and I'm bringing that up is because I was in a relationship where I expressed how I felt, and a woman wanted to take it to death. That it's the end of the world because Q expressed how he felt. He didn't want to be, maybe he didn't want to be bothered at this moment in time. Maybe he felt like it was about something. She felt some way about something, and he expressed how he felt, and now she wants to. I'm like, bro, when did we get here? When did we get to wanting to die? That must have not have been before me, because you said I was like, mind you, chick wasn't even the chick was a virgin when I first met her, supposedly. And this is years ago. I was young. I'm talking about 18, 19. Actually, I was younger. Yeah, that's about right, 18. I'm just getting on my feet in the world, like, you feel me? Sleeping over the girl house, you feel me? Like, her mom allowed me to sleep in the crib, allowed me to stay, all that. So it when I say it hits me on a deeper note than what I was like kind of starting off in the beginning, and like it's just like, for real, like, people don't get a chance to, not every person, not every man goes through that experience. Not every man falls into a woman who might want to decide to be suicidal for like 2 seconds. And not every man walks into a woman who doesn't listen to him. But I am pointing out something from my experience and something that did hit my timeline that made me want to go, yeah, like, let me go ahead and make a podcast about this, because I've experienced very much similar. Because like I said, there's times where I felt unappreciated, where I'm spending all day at your house. I'm not even at my own crib that my mom, I have my own bed I could be sleeping in, but I'm staying in your room that you're sharing with someone else, your sister, with your little sister. Putting myself and my feelings, pretty much behind, so I can satisfy her, and how she needed more. I felt it, like she needed me more than I needed her. I was older. She was also younger. She also just is her first real relationship. Shit like that, man. But even that, like, that's what's throwing me off. You willing to kill yourself on your first relationship? This world is that tough for you already? So let alone leaving the relationship. She was trying to leave this world. She didn't even want to be a part of this world anymore. And I think about it, as I'm bringing it up, I think about it to this day. Like, it's not on purpose. Like, women get mad, but, oh, you still think about your ex? But, like, bro, do you know what that bitch put me through? Like, do you understand what some of the shit that I went through was low-key traumatic? Like, and some men are very unaware of those, like, feelings / thought processes. Like, we are very unaware that that is something traumatic. Like, bro, like, you dead just saved a woman probably from, you know what I'm saying? Not saying, in my mind, I didn't believe in her was going to do that, but what happens if she did? What happens if I walked in, there's a pool of fucking blood? You know what I'm saying? But let alone, like I was saying, women, that's a woman being somewhat of a depressed, but I was depressed as well in a sense, because I felt like there was a lot of times in that relationship as well, I couldn't go out and hang out with my guys without her feeling away. Like, without her really making me want to come back inside, or she needed me to be back around, or it had to be an hour or two, or she's about to die, you know what I'm saying? So I like the way he expressed it, where a lot of men will fall on the sword. Like, I was one of those men who fell on the sword due to the fact that I wanted to just be with somebody. I kept putting my own needs and wants to feel validated, whatever, eventually. So to say the least, bro, just be aware of how you feel when you're in a relationship, bro, and be aware of how things are actually going. Because men, we are very, 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 very much used to falling under the delusion and under the impressions that everything is good when things aren't always so great. When things aren't, like, you're under the impression that, like, you expressed yourself and she heard you, and realistically she didn't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? She's still having you on that curfew. She still heard you. Like, she heard you don't like her going out half with her shorts out like that, and she's still going out like that. The respect levels isn't there. Understand understand your value, let alone the feeling, but understand how your value and your feelings does matter. That's the point I think I'm trying to make today. Just, it matters about how you feel, bro. You told her, like, yo, like, you stay doing this, like, every week, bro. You stay drinking, staying out late, bro. I just feel like that's not fair. I be in at a reasonable time. I'm always on the game. I work. Your feelings matter in your relationship, and if you feel like they're not being validated, you need to make and take actions the right way. Violence is not the right way. Cheating is not the right way. Leaving is not fully the right way unless you know for a fact, like, these conversations and the things that you have been putting up with is bringing you to that point. You know what I'm saying? At least give her a chance to try to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, don't just be in your feelings and be a little, but take the time to realize. I'm talking about for women and men. I'm not just talking about the men. I'm not just talking about the women and being, I'm talking about women too. Take the time to realize he's not paying attention to your feelings. He does not care, and he doesn't. Yes, pay attention to that. And if there's times where you need to realize too, like, maybe you've made mistakes and that's why he feels like that. But take the time. That's all I'm saying. Take the time to be aware of those feelings that were said to you, and be willing to be aware of the feelings that you have. Be aware and use it to your ability when you're dead sitting home and you're thinking about the shit. Don't just be thinking about your feelings. Think about how he could be feeling. Think about think about it like a fucking case, bro. Think about it like, yo, his case versus my case, but don't be so, I want to say the word, if it's your partner and you think you know that person, be more, just like I said, like, aware, I guess. I can't really put too much on it. I just know I've been there where depression hits some people faster than others, or it hits other people, their life and the things that they're going through, that hits as well. So like I said, you just gotta be aware of the feelings that are both being said, and be aware and just listen. I guess listening was also the biggest thing, though. So I think when you sit back and hear your person, make sure you very much just try to be, like I said, be aware. I don't know how else to put that, man. I don't know how else to put it. I just know I was over there, like, thinking about shit like a fucking case. Like, that's how I thought about it every day. Like, all right, so, like, not even on no, like, who gotta win it either. Like, I was just thinking about it, like, this could come to, like, all right, you get paid with attention, and then like, because like I said, sometimes the case can work out in both people's favors. It doesn't have to be a win-lose situation when you're trying to fix a situation or fix something that somebody else feels about or whatever, you know what I mean? But anyways, hope each and every one of you guys have a blessed day. Sorry I was a little but, like, it was something, like I said, hit home today. At least hopefully you heard my story. If you get anything out of this, heard my story, and know that, like I said, be aware of your person's feelings and hear them out as much as you can, as much as your what's that word? What's the fucking comprehension skills can comprehend. Be aware. Hear as much as your yeah, I think that makes sense the first time. Anyways, love each and every one of y'all. Zero didn't pop up today, but pretty sure I saw like 3 people pop up. I appreciate you guys for joining the podcast today. Yeah, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you got any suggestions or any other, put any links or anything like that in the comments, and let me know if you want me to react to any of these podcasts or any of these videos that you see on Instagram. So yeah, like Zero sent me one and we had reacted to it last time. So shout out to Zero, like I said, for last time. Yeah, more podcasts on the way. At least we dropped one today. I did that for y'all. For sure, I was tired. I could have went to sleep, but I dropped it for y'all. So yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. Oh wait, make sure I go check out the channel. Yeah. Go check out this channel right here. All right, go check out. Wait, hold on. See that? Yeah. Go check out this too right here. Yeah. Go check out that. Yeah. Hold on. It was this shit right here. Oh wait. Go to. Oh, it's because I'm on here right now. That's why. Before I had the other video up. Anyways. Yeah, make sure I go check out QZNT. This guy right here. Yeah. Look, we got 1,100 videos. It's low key cap, bro. It's low key cap. Nah, they trying to hold me. There was this 400 one right here. Where it at? Where it really at? But anyways, yeah, go do your thing. Go check out the channel. I have been queued to the motherfucking G-O-D, and we're back in the building. Alright.